What is up, everyone? Welcome back to All Takes, No Whiffs. I am Alex, and that is Christian. And for this video, we will be making our MLB tier list from teams that are World Series contender all the way down to trash. This will be both of our lists too. It'll be just like our WBC hats video if you watched it. So it'll be both of our lists.
Really looked forward to making this list. It's a nice wrap up to the previews for every team, I feel like. And what better timing during opening day to release this video? I'm really looking forward to getting into this. But to get things started, we got the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is one of the teams in the NL West that I feel like are going to be a punching bag. To be honest, I'm feeling sorry for them, and for that reason, we got them in the trash tier.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had a little debate if we should put them in not good but not bad. But I think Christian said it right. They're gonna kind of get beat up in the NL West. The San Francisco Giants are a little better than them still, and then the Padres and the Dodgers, they are just juggernauts in the entire league. So that's why we put them in trash. But to move on to my Atlanta Braves, this has been one of the best teams in the entire league for the past few years now, and they just keep getting better, even though they've lost a superstar the past 2 years. But I think that we both can agree that they are World Series contenders.
Can't deny that the Braves are definitely World Series contenders, winning in 2021, basically having the same core minus Dansby and still having key pieces around that core that are going to be boosting them up, and would not be surprised if they make the 2023 World Series. But for the Baltimore Orioles, this is a team that really surprised us in 2022. Honestly, I'm expecting better things from them, and we've got them in the fringe wild card. Potentially, they can make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the most exciting teams this year. Adley Rutschman, he could be making a lot of noise. I see a lot of people saying maybe he could be an MVP finalist. Was disappointing to see Grayson Rodriguez get sent down, but he did not have a good spring. But maybe he can get things ready or right early in the year and get called up. But to move on to the Boston Red Sox, they look like honestly they're in a pretty good place from where they were last year. Chris Sale looks like I wouldn't say he's back to normal, but looks like he's healthy. Rafael Devers, they got everything done with him this offseason. This team just looks pretty solid all around. One concern right now I have is Kike Hernandez. This dude has not had a really good spring, and the end of his last year was not very good too. But I think we have this team in fringe wild card. I think they can make the playoffs. Honestly.
Yeah, something the Red Sox have always been good at, even when they're not at their dominant level. They have been at times in the past few years, but they're really good at staying afloat. So I think they're definitely going to be a team that's knocking on the door, maybe getting a wild card spot. So yeah, fringe wild card for sure. As far as the Chicago Cubs, honestly, I know they made a good amount of moves, picking up Dansby Swanson first and foremost, adding Cody Bellinger as well. But I think they're kind of upgrading from trash. But we have them in not good, not bad.
Yeah, I mean, they've made some pretty good moves this offseason. If Cody Bellinger can figure things out, maybe they move up to a fringe wildcard team later on in the year. So that could be a good thing for them. I mean, Cody Bellinger is a former MVP, but move on to the team across town, same town actually, Chicago White Sox. This is a team that has some pretty high expectations last year, and I still have some high expectations for them this year. They have a really solid rotation. They got a young core, and I think that this team they have a potential of making a wild card this year. So they're a fringe wild card team.
Yeah, for sure. We decided on fringe wild card, even though they went 500 last year. That was kind of the disappointing end for them last year. So them doing their best, to be honest, I can see them definitely getting a wild card spot. And to be honest, their division, it's not completely on lock. So who knows? They could do even better than that, maybe. But as far as the Cincinnati Reds, this team is definitely in a rough stage right now. I know they got some young guys and Hunter Green to look forward to get better, but I also feel like Jonathan India bouncing back, that could be a plus for them. But even then, just the team around him in general, we had to decide on trash.
Yeah, I mean, they're up and coming. I mean, they've made some trades. I mean, losing Luis Castillo, but getting some trade pieces back in that is big. But there's really, I mean, not too much excitement around this team this year. I mean, Hunter Green, I'm expecting a better year out of him, maybe 200 strikeouts out of him if he can stay healthy. But yeah, we definitely had to put them down there in trash. But the Cleveland Guardians, this is a team I think that we both are kind of high on this year. I know Christian kind of slept on them last year, and they really surprised him, especially in the playoffs.
Gave me a
Almost
heart
put his
attack.
team out. Yep. But this team, I expect them to pretty much do the same thing as they did last year. I actually expect them to have more wins, but we both agreed that we have them making the playoffs.
Yeah, without a doubt. When I said the AL Central isn't on lock completely, that's me maybe sleeping on the Guardians a little bit, just because I feel like the White Sox are a good team, but even then, Cleveland's clear cut better. So I think they're definitely going to win the division, and playoffs is definitely the appropriate tier for them. But as for the Colorado Rockies, honestly, I know they've got Chris Bryant to look forward to, potentially a healthy season, but I they're kind of in the same boat as Arizona, as they're going to get beat up, I feel like, in the NL West, but they're definitely a better team. So we had to agree on not good, not bad for the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, and I'm honestly really excited to see Chris Bryant back and healthy. He's having a pretty good spring too, and he's just been one of the most exciting players when healthy. He was a former MVP too, so hopefully, this team maybe they can move up to that fringe wild card spot
Hmm.
too. But we know how Colorado is pitching and everything. They just got to figure out how to play on the road. They always have one of the best home records, but can never figure it out on the road. But the Detroit Tigers, this team, pretty much in full rebuild mode right now. They do have some pretty good young pieces. Maybe Spencer Torkelson can figure out this year. Maybe Tariq Schoolbull can stay healthy this year. He was having a pretty good start last year.
Hmm.
Matt Manning, he did pretty good too. Joey Wentz, another young guy. So this team, they're I'm not in, not bad, not or not good, not bad yet. So we had to put them in trash.
Yeah, definitely in a rebuild mode. Things are looking a little rough for them at the moment. I was going to be a little hard on Spencer Torkelson, but yeah, he's still a young guy in this league, so I'm going to give him time for sure. But definitely trash. But as far as the Houston Astros, the bullies of the New York Yankees, obviously they won the 2022 World Series, and they're basically running it back. Although they lost Justin Verlander, uh, they also lost Yuli Gurriel, but they picked up Jose Abreu. So we're expecting them to be World Series contenders. Surprise there.
Yeah, a huge surprise right there. No, but I mean, Houston, one of the best teams in the league. Framber Valdez, I'd probably say, is the ace of that staff now, maybe. Either way, they got a pretty good rotation. It's going to be pretty deep. Hunter Brown, he could be the potential ace of that staff at one point. So looking forward to Houston this year. Could be in the World Series. But the Kansas City Royals, I think they're on the opposite spectrum right now. They're in the Houston Astros. They're kind of in rebuild mode. They're kind of like Detroit. I would say they're better than Detroit though. They have some guys who have already kind of made a splash in the league. Bobby Witt Jr. has been pretty
Hmm.
good. Pretty much led the team in like every single offensive category last year. But we still have this team in trash for right now until they can prove to us that they're a little better.
Yeah, I would have to agree. They're not the worst team in the trash tier, but they are coming off of a 65 win season in 2022. No major upgrades. They're just looking forward to some of their young core getting better. So definitely trash for now. But for the Los Angeles Angels, interesting team to talk about for sure. This one took a second, but they definitely made a couple of moves, picking up Hunter Renfro. That was a nice pickup for them, and even then, even though they got Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, I would have to say they're a fringe wild card team right now. And part of that is we would love to see them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you got the number one and number two or three baseball player in the world, depending on who you're talking to, on the same team. You think they would be in the playoffs, but Shohei Ohtani can't pitch 5 games in a row, so that's really their biggest fault right now. Having them in fringe wild card is right about right now. I honestly would love to just move them up to playoffs because that's where they should be. So they really looking forward to them. Hopefully they make the playoffs. Really would look forward to it. But to move on to the LA Dodgers, this is a team, been one of the best teams in the league for probably the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years, honestly. And I don't think they're really going to be changing anywhere soon. And they're not really too much to talk about them, but they're definitely World Series contenders.
Yeah, definitely World Series contenders. I don't know if I would say favorites off the top of my head, but definitely contenders. I could see them making a deep run if they don't choke early on like last year. I'm playing. But as for the Miami Marlins, this is a team that they kind of fluked us in 2020, making the playoffs. I thought they were on an upward track, but they had a 68 win season last year, I believe, and they made a couple moves, lost Pablo Lopez, but they still got Sandy. So as of right now, we would have to say that they're not good, not bad, and they're kind of I would say they're set there.
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty set there too, and getting Luis Ariz back in that trade is pretty huge too. They
Hmm.
upgraded defense, or not defense, offense where they needed upgraded the most. Their pitching rotation is still good. Hopefully, Yuri Perez and Edwin Cabrera can figure it out. But having them not good and not bad is pretty much spot on for them, especially with the three teams above them in that division: the Braves, the Mets, and the Phillies. That's just
Hmm.
they're gonna beat up on. But to move on to the Milwaukee Brewers, this is an interesting team, honestly, this year. They have probably one of the best rotations in all of baseball, led by Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, and Freddie Peralta. You get into their bullpen, it's decent, not the best. And then they just don't score enough runs is the
Hmm.
thing. That offense, I mean, it could be pretty freaking good, I think, this year, especially if Christian Yelich is back and healthy. I mean, he was healthy last year. The power just wasn't there. But this is a team I think that we both agreed on are in fringe wild card, but they could move up that other tier to playoffs if they prove otherwise this year.
Yeah, and to be honest, I would have to say, really, their only shot I can see of them making the playoffs is if they win the division. So they would have to bump up to that playoff tier if they want to make the playoffs in general, because the NL wild card kind of locked until further notice, I feel like. But for the Minnesota Twins, this is a team coming off of a disappointing 2022 season, but they added Pablo Lopez to their rotation. That was a nice addition, re-signing Carlos Correa after that whole fiasco. But with how disappointing 2022 was, unless things are going their way in 2023, I would have to say they're not good, not bad as of right now.
Yeah, and they're trending more towards not good instead of not bad. This team, they got solid pitching. I didn't realize this, but Kenta Maeda is back with them this year. That could be a huge addition to their rotation. So I'm looking forward to Minnesota. Hopefully, they can bump up to fringe wild card, and I would love to see that. But moving on to the New York Mets, this is a team where we might get a little hate on because of who we root for and everything, but we just want to be proven wrong. And it's just year
Mhm.
after year that they keep collapsing. Christian referred to this earlier in the video too. So right now, we have them in the playoff tier, but they honestly could be World Series contenders because that 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation is absolutely brutal.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I could really see the Mets. If they're reaching their ceiling, they could definitely make the World Series. Don't want to deny that. It's just as we said, got to prove us wrong. Especially after the collapse at the end of 2022, I feel like I just really want to see something more before I could say they're contenders. But as for the New York team that are World Series contenders, we got the New York Yankees.
Oops, wrong spot.
Oh, oops.
My bad. My
Good
bad.
one. Good one. I feel that though. Like you could definitely make that argument. My thing is, and we both agree to this for sure.
Mhm.
If it's not Houston, it's honestly the Yankees. So obviously we can get upset. We've had bad stretches in the playoffs before, but I don't know. I feel like if Houston's our only roadblock, so as long as we can overcome Houston in 2023, and just in general, we're World Series contenders.
Yeah, my only really concern for y'all right now is just the rotation. I mean, once you get healthy, I mean, y'all are supposed to have one of probably the best rotation in all of baseball going into opening day, and y'all
Yeah,
only have two of those guys available right now,
yeah.
which kind of sucks. But got to get healthy in that department. Anthony Volpe, super excited about him. Can't wait to
Hmm.
watch him tear it up in the MLB. But y'all are gonna be super exciting this year to watch, and yeah, definitely World Series contenders. But move on to the Oakland Athletics. Go ahead and just go ahead and put this team where they belong because
Yeah.
this team, worst record, or not worst record in baseball last year, but worst record in the AL, really have made a lot of trades, like I've been saying with the Braves. So they have a lot of Braves farm system in
Christian
there.
Pache.
He actually got traded to the Phillies today. I don't know if you saw that.
Did not see that.
Yes, he got traded to the Phillies today. They actually he doesn't have any options anymore, and they optioned him yesterday. So if he didn't find a trade partner today, he was going to get released. So He got traded to Philly today. Hopefully, he can figure out in Philly. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much sums up how Oakland Athletics are.
Dang. That was a nice surprise for this video, but yeah, Alex hit it on the nose. Oakland, I don't have anything else to say about them. Trash. But as for the Philadelphia Phillies making the 2022 World Series, they're really a solid team. Obviously, they're not going to get Bryce Harper back until around the All Star break, so that's going to be a tough break for them until then. But they got a solid 1-2 punch leading their rotation, a really solid offense led by Trey Turner until further notice. I'm not forgetting it this time around. But yeah, even though they made the 2022 World Series, honestly, I think there is a good bit of luck involved in that. No disrespect, or not luck. Good baseball played at the right time. That's what it was more than luck.
My team forgot how to hit too.
Yeah, things happen though. But even though they made the 2022 World Series, it's not going to be a guarantee for them this year. But even then, I think they're kind of a wild card lock. So as of right now, we got them in the playoff tier.
Yeah, I mean, you said it pretty much spot on. There's not really too much to say about them. I just hope Bryce Harper can get back soon. I'm really looking forward to Aaron Nola pitch this year. To be honest, I think he is Cy Young worthy this year. Honestly, if he can stay healthy, so
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to Philly. I'm looking forward to fighting with them in the division. Should be really fun, honestly, in the NL East this year. But move on to the Pittsburgh Pirates. This team has a lot of young, exciting players. We've been talking about them a lot. O'Neal Cruz been hyped up a lot. Brian Hayes been hyped up a lot. So really looking forward to seeing those guys. Brian Reynolds, don't know if how long he's actually going to be on that team, if he's going to make it through all the way this year, but not really too much to look forward to this team this year besides those three guys, really. So we're going to have to put them in trash.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're going to be trash and they're going to be the punching bags of the NL Central. That's just the reality for them. I feel like even though the young talent is hopefully going to get better, it's just the team overall is not in a good position. But a team that is in a really good position, the San Diego Padres, the moves that this team has made in the past couple of years has been crazy. This past offseason, signing Xander Bogaerts to an 11-year deal, extending Manny Machado on a 12-year deal. Yeah, they're secured for a while. And honestly, even though they're competing with the LA Dodgers in the West, I would have to say that they are World Series contenders for sure.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. I mean, this is honestly a top 5 team in baseball in my eyes. I mean, that's why they are in World Series contenders, obviously, but they have a super deep team. I mean, even their bench is going to be deep. They have Matt Carpenter and Nelson Cruz on that bench, and Matt Carpenter can play anywhere on the field. And that rotation, I mean, it's deep too. The bullpen's really good too. Have the best closer in all of baseball, and Josh Hader when he's on it. So gonna be a super scary team, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they make the World Series this year. But move on to the San Francisco Giants. The San Francisco Giants were kind of disappointed us last year. Finished around 500. I think they were 80 and 82 or 81 and 81. I can't remember exactly, but somewhere around there. And they're kind of like in the same situation we said with
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, but not as bad. They're just going to get beat up on by the top two teams in that division. So we have them as not good, not bad for right now.
Yeah, definitely had to put them at not good, not bad. I know they made a couple moves in this past offseason. It's just not enough to bolster them. The potential moves that they had, though, if they got those done, if they took Aaron Judge from us and picked up Carlos Correa, yeah, they'd be higher. But not
Yeah,
good, not
a
bad
lot
until
higher.
further. Yeah, until further notice, though, not good, not bad. But the Seattle Mariners, really looking forward to this team in 2023, breaking a postseason drought in 2022, led by Julio Rodriguez, who's only 20 years old, which is crazy to think about. Made the right moves, I feel like, as well. They picked up Teoscar Hernandez. I think that's going to help with their offense. And for that reason, we decided to put them in the playoff tier.
Oh, want to go over, but yeah, we have them in the playoff tier. I'm really excited about this team. They've built a better team this year too. They got better during the season last year, getting Luis Castillo. So they have a pretty good 1-2 punch at the top of that rotation too. Actually, really a pretty good 1-2-3. Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, and Robbie Ray. So
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to them play this year. But St. Louis Cardinals should be another exciting team to look forward to this year. My only really concern with them is their rotation. And if it wasn't for their rotation, they would probably be a World Series contender. But just because of that, we have them in playoffs. But that offense, it may be one of the best lineups in all baseball, to be honest.
St. Louis Cardinals, really good offense last year. They added Wilson Contreras to the catcher position. That was a huge pickup for the lineup as well. So I'm expecting good things from St. Louis this year. NL Central is theirs, honestly, unless Milwaukee can make some noise. But playoff tier for them for sure. As for the Tampa Bay Rays, though, this is a team that I feel like is going to be staying afloat, kind of like the Red Sox. They're just a solid team all around. They haven't made really any major moves this past offseason, but they got a team with Wander Franco, Randy Arozarena, uh, Isaac Paredes. We just saw him in the WBC. Maybe he can have a really good regular season in 2023. But honestly, I would have to say they're a fringe wild card team. It's just they're they could stay afloat, and I would say they're a little better than the teams in not good, not bad.
Yeah, they're honestly just one of those teams that when you count them out, I mean, they're just not out of it, honestly. Like every
Mhm,
year, I always have low expectations for this team, and they always blow it out of the waters, to be honest. Like last year, I did not expect, well, last year they had 86 wins. It was kind of a worse year than the previous years when they had above 95, but
mhm.
still made the playoffs. That's kind of where I see them around 86 wins again this year. And fringe wild card is perfect because that was the third wild card spot last year. And honestly, I really don't see them making the playoffs this year. But the Texas Rangers, this is another really interesting team. This was a team that, just like the White Sox, we had huge expectations for last year. Now, they didn't fall super short like the White Sox didn't fall super short like Texas did at 68 wins, but
Mhm.
we expect Texas to be a lot better this year. Adding Jacob DeGrom to that rotations is going to be absolutely massive. So, we have this team in fringe wild card for now. Maybe a little controversial. Maybe people have them in not good, not bad, but this is just what our expectations are for them this year.
Yeah, when you add the best pitcher in baseball when healthy, that's definitely a plus as long as he can stay healthy. That's just been a big question mark for years, but I feel like Corey Seager and Marcus Simeon are definitely going to have a better start to the season and just provide a better energy for the offense going into 2023. But for the Toronto Blue Jays, I feel like this is the team that's going to give my Yankees the most run for their money in the AL East. Picking up Dalton Varsho in the offseason, that was a huge pickup, adding a nice lefty bat to their already stacked lineup, being led by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I would love to see a full, healthy season from George Springer. That would be huge. And Bo Bichette running it back. What was it? I think he led all the MLB in hits.
No, he was like top
No.
five though. He had,
Yeah.
had 189.
Yeah, the top 5 in hits, really good season from him last year, and as of right now, we got them in playoffs. They can make some more noise than that, to be honest, though. I don't wanna get too ahead of myself, though, because that means bad news for my Yankees.
Yeah, this is honestly probably the most exciting, if not the most exciting team in baseball, at least to me right now. I just am absolutely so excited to watch them this year. They have so many exciting players. You already named them all, but that pitching rotation is also what I'm looking forward to too. It's super deep. I mean, it's got five really good, I wouldn't say really good guys. It's got three pretty good guys and then two guys who are just solid to have on the back end. So they're definitely going to make the playoffs this year. Don't know if they're gonna be challenging y'all for the division yet, but I can definitely see it this year.
Mhm,
But Washington Nationals, gonna be real honest, not really too much to talk about with them. They're the worst team in baseball. They're just in big time rebuild mode last or this year. They have had one of the biggest drop offs in all of sports that I've really seen. In 2019, they were World Series champions, and then 2021, they were pretty much the worst team in baseball. So, losing players like Christian named us off the other day in our video for them. Anthony Rendon, Max Scherzer, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Juan Soto. Even Strasburg has not been the same. I mean, that's five top 20 players in the league, and then Strasburg, when he's healthy, he's probably up there too. So you already know where this team is going for us. It's going into the trash can, but yeah, I mean, Christian, not too much more to really talk about with them.
most I can say is Nationals fans, hold on to that 2019 trophy because it's looking rough, in the near future. But, yeah, Washington Nationals, trash, unfortunately, but hopefully not as trash as 2022. I don't want to see a team that bad this year, to be honest. But as far as this list, this was a really fun list to make. Honestly, it was good going back and forth with Alex, just getting an idea of where we see these teams in 2023. And I just can't wait to see how the season plays out. Hopefully, we are on the nose with this list, but it's baseball. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, anything can happen. I mean, sports, not everything is predictable. We never really know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
We could be completely wrong. I mean, my Braves could be the worst team in baseball this year, but I know that's not going to happen. But Christian, before we get out of here, we got to give our World Series predictions. So, who do you think is going to be making the World Series this year?
As for who I think is going to be making the World Series out of the National League, sorry, Alex. I'm really looking forward to this team in 2023. I think the San Diego Padres are going to make it for the NL. And as for the AL, definitely some bias kicking in here. I think we're going to overcome the Astros in 2023 and we're going to make the World Series. So I think it's going to be a Yankees Padres matchup in the World Series. And I'm going to say the Yankees are going to win the World Series. Got to go for my team.
No, I feel you on that, and I'm honestly still having a hard time right now, and I can't believe I'm honestly saying this, but I just can't pick between the Braves and Padres right now. The Braves have better pitching, I feel like, and the
Mhm.
Padres have better hitting. So if you put those together, I feel like the pitching is better or would outweigh the hitting. So I'm kind of conflicted right now. I definitely, honestly, I'm sorry, Christian. I know you're doing the same thing to me, but I still think Houston gets back to it. I
Yeah.
just think I need to see y'all get over them. It's kind of like the Mets situation, but
I'd be
I
in the
get
same
it.
I'd be in the same boat if it wasn't my team.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just go with my team then, I guess, 'cause I honestly I do think if you look at it all around, Braves, they are a better team. You don't go position by position, but, like I said, the pitching rotation, the bullpen, both are really, really good, but I just think the Braves are a little deeper.
Mhm.
Maybe not right now at the beginning of the season because we got a couple guys hurt. I'm not too sure if San Diego is hurt in that department, but I'll go with Braves against the Astros, and I'll say it'll be a repeat of 2021. Braves take it in 6.
Hey, I could definitely see that happening. Braves just one of the best teams in baseball. Houston, one of the best teams in baseball. Houston has been beating us up for the past couple of years, so easily could happen. But before we head out of here, if you guys would like, leave your comments down below. Let us know who you think is going to be making the World Series in 2023 and who do you think is going to be ending up winning the World Series. And also, season starting today, and looking forward to that, of course. If you guys would like to keep up with the season, we're definitely going to be posting consistently, giving our thoughts and doing our thing for baseball 2023. So if you would like, subscribe and turn on notifications to stay tuned for when we're dropping those videos.
Yeah, we have a lot of big plans for this season. Also, for the boxing year too. There's a lot of
Mhm.
big upcoming fights. If you like boxing, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia are coming up. We'll be previewing that soon. Have some extra things going on with that too. So, yeah, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, know when we post new stuff, and we hope y'all continue to watch our videos. We hope you are enjoying them. But until our next one, peace.
Peace.